Gators up there. But right now, they're looking good, man. They look really good. Julien Laporte, 8 tackles, man. 1 interception, 4 pass deflections. Olivier Ouellet, 3 sacks.
Laporte's pick 6 is what turned the game.
Pick 6 turned the
Literally,
game.
first play, second half, picked it off, bam, and that's where it went.
It's a nail in your coffin, man. I just burped. Sorry, McDonald's.
No worries. Jagerbomb, Y.N.W.A Boys, 1919.
Y.N.W.A Boys.
Tie game, 1919. Matt Petroni, 3 TDs. Duchesne, 3 TDs, 1 INT. More surprised by the Jagerbombs or the Y.N.W.A Boys record at this point of the year?
I'm more surprised with Y.N.W.A Boys. They have a lot of experience on this team. So they have it's his first year as quarterback. You have Alex Poslakis, you have Alex Camis on the team. You have Louis LaRouche. I don't think he was there this week.
No,
because they asked me to play, but I couldn't. Who else do they have on this team? They have Giancarlo Brulo.
Yeah.
They have a lot of good players in this team. What happened? The reason why they lost this game, but something that could have won them the game is Matt picked them off on like a couple plays left in the game, and then they couldn't score. So you have the ball in your hands to win the game, and you can't do it. It's just a lack of experience on Matt Patron's part, Matt Porno-Time Patron. But they look good. I think if they just keep things simple and use Matt's legs because he run very well, and use Alex Poslakis as your best receiver, then I think they can maybe make a run and make the playoffs.
Do you believe Patron's become a legit quarterback, or he's an adequate QB?
He's not adequate yet. I think he needs to hone his skills first. Learn how to throw on the run. Matt uses his legs. It's just the first thing he knows how to do is run. He needs to learn how to look downfield as he's running and throw. Give it to the open guy. Give it to the slants. Give it to maybe a corner or a post, whatever is going on. And use your legs to your advantage. Some guys use it because they panic. If you use your legs to your advantage, you'll be able to win more games.
Coming up next, we will talk about the midseason at this point, who are the bubble teams that need to step up to get into the playoff picture. Find out from Terry Tam here, and You'll Never Walk Alone on the lovely studios here in North Central Eastern downtown Laval.
West Island.
Stay tuned. Calling the Audible has been brought to you by the English Montreal School Board's DEAL program. Distance education for all learners will allow you to obtain your high school diploma or prerequisites for CEGEP or vocational studies from the comfort of your own home. It's never too late to go back to school. Learn anywhere at your own pace and get your diploma. Call 514-788-5937 for information or visit www.distanted.ca for more details.
Easy on the count.
Welcome back to You Never Walk Alone. Don't forget, Liverpool successfully defeated Spurs on Tuesday. Big win for them, 3-2.
Big game.
A big one for them. We'll talk about a team later on who choked. 18-point lead. Team comes late. And guess what happened? Find out which team that was a bit later on here on You'll Never Walk Alone.
Word.
Terry Tam Mocon here at Terry Tam FPF. Are we playing footsies right now, Terry?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Sorry. It's the leg of the table.
You wish.
GM in the bullpen, Eagle FPF in his nest, and you're shooting Mocon at Mocon19. Let's dive into mid-season right now, bubble teams as we move forward. I'll go with some teams here. V Nation 1-3-1.
Yeah. Eagle, if I can just see the rest of their schedule. V Nation's a team. They beat the Jays tough team in week 2. They lost They lost to they lost to KGP Light. KGP Light, one of the teams that we say aren't really up to par yet. They lost to Black Shirts, a very experienced team.
Tied Cougars, yeah.
They tied the Cougars. Cougars are a good team. I mean, it's a good showing. They're very good. Honestly, I watched them. They know how to play. You can tell they're a bunch of tackle players. They have a pretty tough schedule coming up. They have Speed Demons, Sphinx, Old Guns, Killuminati, and Fan of the Cougars. I see 2 wins here, and I'm looking at Killuminati and Sphinx. These are wins that they're going to get, but not making the playoffs.
So their bubble will burst then.
Their bubble's going to burst.
All right, the next division we have Loresse at 2-1-1, KGP Light 2-3, Rednecks 2-3, Lelou at 1-4. Out of those 4 teams I've listed, which one do you think could have their bubble burst or maybe make a run for the playoffs?
I think we're going Rednecks on this one. Rednecks. I watched them play. Those guys, again, they look like they're tackle players. They understand the game well. They beat Top Season. Top Season is a team that we've noticed. I think Top Season means something else, by the way. Huh? Peace told me it does. It does. Liars.
They love you.
Yeah, exactly. Goats manhandled them 42-16 a couple weeks ago. I just think that if I can see the rest of their schedule, Eagle. No. Sorry. Okay, Eagle. Sorry, man.
Sorry, we'll wait for you. It's your show.
It's your show.
Your show, Eagle. Sorry.
They're playing the U against Shake and Bake Lattimore. They got Leilou's pretty much. It's a tough game. I think they're going to be able to come out and win there. Golden Flashes. Yannick Dawson's playing really well lately. KGP Light should win there. Venom should win there. So they can win 3 out of the next 5 games and probably make the playoffs.
And if they win 3 out of the next 5, that puts them at 5-5 though. We said 6 will get you in.
In this division, though, this division is not playing as well as we
right, and we talk about the
subdivision.
Yeah, the minimum. Let's go regionals.
Let's go regionals.
Regionals.
And the regionals in this.
The West Regional of Conference A. I think 5. I think puts them back in the bubble though. It can go either way. It depends on how the arrow's pointing. With
8 teams make the playoffs, right? So you can finish second, and if it all depends. Just win your games.
Next division, Max Carnage at 2-3. Terrible loss for them on Monday. Mad Bears 1-3-1. The U at 1-3. Out of those 3, who do you have lined up as a bubble team?
I'm going with Mad the Dirty Bears. Tie against the GLC at the first week. They came back a couple weeks later, winning against V Nation with their 1 win. The only thing is, right now they're 1-3-1. They're gonna have to win out. Can they beat KGP Light? Yes. Can they beat Maximum Carnage? Absolutely. Can they beat Ligue des Espaces? Absolutely. Can they beat the U? I don't know. I'm a fanboy of the U, so I can't really say, but I think they can win that game. Road Warriors, absolutely, they can beat them. So if they can win 4 of their next 5 games, that means they're sitting at 5-4-1, and that's a playoff spot.
Not going to happen.
You don't think so?
No. Look, they had a league against Sticky Hands. Okay, the team from Anjou, from the East End, more or less.
From the East End, Anjou.
Yeah, Anjou in the East
End. Where Sportier lives and resides.
Proud sponsor of FPF.
Yeah, proud sponsor.
What's the website?
Sportier.com.
I look at it this way. For the Mad Bears to blow a lead like they did against Sticky Hands doesn't give me the confidence to say they can win out like how you think they can. I think they can win 2 more games out of this schedule, but that's about it.
So you're not confident with
No, I'm not. I think they're undisciplined. They take terrible OCs or URs at the most critical times of a game.
Okay.
And I think for them moving forward, it's just a matter of them putting it together, but they're too inconsistent in my books to make a run. I think that their bubble will burst.
But you don't think with the schedule that they're playing against, you don't think they can beat KGP Light?
No, well, KGP Light, look, they proved me wrong a few times.
Yeah, because they changed the quarterback.
Right. Max Carnage, I think if they finally get the ball to Brian Mongeau, hello, Brian Mongeau.
Give it to Kevin and Brian, baby.
I think Max Carnage wins that game. I think KGP can win that game. I see maybe 1 more win for them. That's against the Red Warriors.
1 win. Okay.
Yeah. I think 3 wins.
You know what? It's one or the other at this point.
I think Max Carnage could be the team that
I agree with your assessment.
Next division, St. Luke's 2-3. They've been proving us wrong of late. Keyport Lock at 3-2. Speed Demons at 1-3. Jagerbomb at 1-3. Out of those 5, which team bubble can be?
I'm going with the Menches. Good Menches. Keyport Lock with Jeff Rose and the boys over there.
You got 3 OCs actually.
You got 3 OCs in 1 game?
1 incident.
How do you get 3 OCs in 1 incident? Only Jeff Rose can do that.
Only Jeff Rose can do that. Yes. But carry on.
Will Hurst, though.
Yeah, Will Hurst from TCO. Carry on, though.
I think Keyport Lock is a team that I said at the beginning of the season they should be doing really well. They're not doing as well as I thought. They're still 3-2. They're in the playoffs. If they can win out, they got Old Guns. It's gonna be a great game this week. Speed Demons, they should win that game. St. Louis, they should torch them. Black Shirts, that's gonna be a tough game. Black Shirts match up really well against them. And Tomahawk Nightmare, I see a loss there. So maybe 3 wins, finishing 6-4 the rest of the season, and that's a playoff spot.
I saw them play earlier in the season. They underachieved. They are a legit bubble team because you listen to their schedule right now.
That's a tough schedule.
It's a very tough schedule.
For 10 weeks, that's a tough schedule.
I'm like, damn, Terry, I don't know where you see these wins coming from here. I mean, old guns.
I got confidence in Jeff Rosie. Confidence in
Rosie.
3OC Rose.
That's name drop Rosie. That's how you guys roll now?
Yeah, it's my hockey locker room nickname.
Hey, Rosie.
Hey, Rosie, buddy.
Like, Tomahawk Nightmare last game of the year, I think, is a loss. Depending where Tomahawk is, maybe they've clinched and they don't want to play, whatever, who knows.
Depends.
Blackshirts, you're right. They're playing much better now than they did week 1.
It's a terrible matchup for them, I feel.
St. Luke's, I think they'll beat them. Speed Demons can go either way, depending on what Speed Demon team shows up. Mm-hmm. Old Guns, I see 2 wins. Old Guns are going to be a tough team. I just don't know where they can get 4 wins max.
If the only loss I see is Old Guns.
I don't know where you see that, though, Terry.
I don't know. I guess that, like I said, fanboy.
Tell you what, man. We're going to figure this out later on in the year.
See March 25th, man.
I'll tell you what, man. We're not that far away. X-Men 1-3-1. They I think may have blown a chance because they tied.
X-Men, great signing this week. You ready?
Terry Tam.
You ready?
Oh, Darren Basmajian.
The Pocket Watch Basmajian. Signed X-Men for one game. Must be pissed. I think it's just one game, but still.
So X-Men 1-3-1, they tied Venom last night, which is quite demoralizing for X-Men if you're them. However, Pat LaFay was quarterback, not Jonathan St. Pierre. Tyrants 1-4, the Pack 1-4. Who do you have?
I'm going to go X-Men. On this one. Not because of the signing of Darren Basmajian. I'm going X-Men because I looked at the rest of their schedule. They're playing the Refs. They're playing the Tyrants. So if they win those 2 games, they're playing Goats also. Goats, I mean, that's a team. It's a little... they're good. But what's his name? Omo, he backs up a lot. I don't like it. He plays like Alex Hall. He backs up like 25 yards and chucks it deep. I'm going to go X-Men on this one with three wins in the last 5 games of the season and squeaking in the playoffs there.
Gators, I think, will roll over them. The refs are very frenetic.
They're unpredictable.
Good game, well played. They're good.
Good game, well played. Probably the best team in the division.
I see 2 wins tops, man.
2 wins?
Yeah.
Well, because you're looking at Goats, and Goats is that bubble team. You're seeing wins with the Tyrants and the Refs. Yeah. And then I think Goats is the bubble team the bubble game to see if they'll win.
All right, quickly here. Hot Boys Hotline 2-2-1. DG Goons 1-2-2. And let's just clarify the team that we're referring to. Hot Boys Hotline obviously got to the field on time. 6 p.m. Broadside started. For those who don't know, Broadside had traffic on the Champlain. Yes. So Dope Boys, their opponent, was late. So they were up 18-0. Ended up losing.
Wait. Hot Boys Hotline?
We're up 18-0? Yeah. Ended up losing, what was it, 31-24?
31-25.
That's right there. 31-24, man.
Look, I'm going to say...
I want to see the box score in that game.
I'm going to say quickly here, Hot Boys Hotline, if you had more Eagles on your team, you would have never lost that game. Enough said.
You need Eagles. Eagles fly. Eagles soar.
Okay, so Hot Boys Hotline, and you look at DG Goons. Which team?
Story of Hot Boys Hotline is that I'm thinking Hot Boys Hotline is a bubble team this year. DG Goons, I like them. I think honestly they might make a run. It's tough with these 2 teams. Hot Boys Hotline can look great, and then they can look.
I think they're done.
You think they're done?
I think they're done.
Gatehouse throws way too many picks, man, and that's saying from a guy who threw 17 in 4 games last year.
Yeah, but I think Hot Boys Hotline is done. I mean, how do you recover? I mean, Eagles recover from it.
But they have a really easy schedule coming up.
They do.
Maybe not really. Maybe not.
They do, but we talk about they're up 18-0.
I understand. What do you want to tell you? They got Goats. They got Butterfingers. They got Road Warriors. Those are 3 games they should win. If they don't win, it's done. Then they're playing the Gators and they're playing GLC, Green Line Corps. Honestly, Saturday that visit for Hot Boys Hotline. I don't see it happening.
All right. Coming up next, we'll do Terry's midseason awards. We'll talk about QB, receiver, rusher, you name it. And we'll quickly go over the Stevie G of the week and who needs to step up in the second half of the year here in You'll Never Walk Alone with Terry, GM, Eagle, and his nest, and Mocon. Stay tuned.
Easy on the count.
Welcome back to You'll Never Walk Alone on the Div 5 Podcast Network of Networks. Terry Tam at Terry FPF, Terry Tam FPF, and of course you have GM and Eagle FPF, Mocon 19. Let's dive into the midseason awards here. That's the All-Star Awards, I guess, more or less, or the awards, however you want to term it as. Let's go through the quarterbacks. Simon Bosquet-Baudin had a good season so far up to now. 23 TDs, 5 INTs, 804 yards passing. Jeff Marquis, 21 TDs, 4 INTs. Who are you giving the edge to as we speak?
I'm giving it to SBB, not because he's outworking JF Marquis, even though he has a lot of rushing touchdowns. That's what they both have a lot of rushing touchdowns, actually. I'm looking at SBB because 804 yards is, in that offense, the way he runs around, 23 touchdowns is very impressive. He's only thrown 5 interceptions. He got sacked 3 times. That happens when you're a running quarterback. You're going to get sacked.
Okay, what about JP O'Mall from the Goats? 23 TDs, almost 900 yards passing. Defeated the Rednecks, Dope Boys, and Tyrants.
Defeated the Rednecks, Dope Boys, and Tyrants. 3 teams that we're probably not going to be talking about in Week 7. You know what I mean? Like, they're good. JP O'Mall's really good. I'm not a huge fan of him per se. I think their team does well. That's why they've won games.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I can put him in the conversation of quarterback of the year yet.
Wide receiver DB, we have a lot of guys here. I'll list them and you just give me your best out of the bunch right here. Alex Godet, 42 catches, 301 yards, 8 TDs. Eddie Martinez, 26 catches, 318, 10 TDs. Dylan Taylor has 8 TDs, 381 yards receiving. Kyle Greenbaum, 404 yards receiving. Matthew Cochon, 6 TDs, almost 300 yards receiving. Tony Testa, 10 TD grabs.
10 TDs, yeah.
Isaiah Lard, 9 TDs. Kevin Bustani, 16 catches.
This is my mid-year All-Star team right here.
Yeah,
this is my mid-year All-Star team right here. I think receiver of the year. Thinking about it, I'd probably give it to Eddie Martinez or Eddie the Latin Hustle Martinez, only because he's got 10 touchdowns and he is the focal point on that offense. Tony and their team is, if it's not GGWP, it's the Gators that are number 1 team in the league for sure. And this
DBs, just quickly here. Any DBs that stand out for you on defense?
I'm gonna go Kevin Bustani. Kevin Bustani's looking really good. But defensively, defensive player of the year.
Kevin Paul, the rusher we agree upon, right?
Kevin Paul is probably he's up there. I think he's got 11 sacks so far.
Okay.
And it's impressive, man, in this league. Kevin to get 11 sacks.
Well, we'll find out what happens at the year-end awards. That is for sure.
Two-way player of the year.
Two-way. Who's going to be a two-way?
JF Marquis. He has like 8 sacks.
Yeah, but you know what? He lost to the Gators, man. That team imploded. But should we not include
stats, though?
I know, but the thing is, though, when we talk about stats, I think it should correlate with quality of victories.
I agree
because you look at JF McKee's
wins
up to now.
Last winter, Division 5, this same division.
Yes.
The guy who won two-way player of the year did not even make the playoffs.
Again, it goes. We both agree. Quality wins. Who do you get these stats against? Is it a bunch of teams that go for a combined 6-40 for the year? It doesn't work in my books.
That's true. You're right.
All right, this week, heading to the second half, who needs to step up for their team heading to the second half? Which players needs to play lights out? Is there any player that's feeling the pressure?
I'm going team and player.
Go for it.
So JYD, Jason Rossi. Jason Rossi had a really good game last week. He threw 5 touchdowns. He needs to keep it up. If it's all on him. They lost James Floriani on their team. Now they're going to need to focus. Jason Rossi is to get Jason Koglakis the ball in the red zone. He's a big body. He has decent hands. He can catch it. Include Shane Jackson in your offense too. I mean, these are things that you need to really focus on. Another team is V Nation. Okay, V Nation Speed Demons. Brian Ewan playing well. I think he's only thrown like 3 interceptions this year.
But he's not producing the yards though.
He's not producing the yards, but their defense is able to get them to those wins. They have games against V Nation, Keeper Lock, Tomahawk Nightmare, Dope Boys, and Jagerbomb. I'm seeing 3 wins there.
Stevie G of the week.
Stevie G of the week goes to Of Les Verges Folles, Kyle Greenbaum.
They're playing well this year.
They are. They're playing really well. 132 yards, 4 touchdowns in 1 game. Impressive. Very impressive.
At the halfway point, what grade would you give this division, this entire subdivisions?
All subdivisions?
Like the entire grade
The entire division? Division 5 we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not a subdivision.
I know.
Okay. I'll give it a C+. I'll give it a C+. C+ because I thought there was going to be a lot more parity. I think that just teams aren't playing as well, and it's getting a little top heavy right now.
I think it hasn't worked in Div 5 for the cap yet. I think it'll take another year or 2 before.
I think so too. That's a good point. But I find that we'll talk about the higher divisions 1 and 2, and then the lower divisions. The mid divisions are 3, 4, and 5, and then Division 6 as the lowest division. But the 3, 4, and 5, I feel like there's always going to be a cap situation there.
I think history will prevail that we see an upset in the first round of the playoffs.
I agree. Yeah.
In Div 5. Whoever that might be.
Whoever might be.
The 7th seed. All right, 5 live picks. Let's dive into it right now. First game, Keyport against All Guns. 3.5 points for the All Guns.
I'm going Keyport lock on this one. Rosie, don't make me look bad.
Griffins, Y.N.W.A, 10.5 points for Griffins, and they're playing really well on offense.
Griffins?
Without Pappage or Jared Humphreys at quarterback?
I got asked to play for Y.N.W.A this year, but this weekend, but it's Valentine's Day. Sorry, Matt, I can't play.
With the roommate.
So I'm going Griffin. So with the roommate.
Roommate.
Valentine's Day with the roommate.
Does she
So
still
I'm
think
going Griffins on this one. If I was playing, I mean...
Does she think I'm
Griffins.
Indian or your roommate?
Well, you are Indian, no?
I know, but she didn't know it was Indian.
She thought you were like native.
Native,
Yeah.
right. Tyrants, DG Goons. 4.5 points for the Goons.
DG Goons all the way. Tyrants are one of
think
the worst
they're done?
teams I've seen. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Good game, well played. Greenland and Corpse, 1.5 points for GLC.
Oh man, that's generous. Honestly, that's very generous. I'm going GGWP on this one.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if Jerson is throwing balls and he's throwing balls,
Previon.
yeah, Jerson Previon is throwing balls. No, he's dropping balls for touchdowns. I mean,
Yes.
the other team is catching for touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of you're gonna lose games, especially GGWP. They're not gonna be able to handle SBB. 4-3-40, baby.
Tomahawk against Sphinx, 12.5 points for Tomahawk.
I'm
Tough
going-
loss last week, losing by 1 to the Gators.
Yeah, I'm going Sphinx to take with the points on that one. I mean, Tomahawk's gonna come up with the win, just not gonna
Not
be
going to
12.5
spread.
points. Yeah.
Fair enough then. On this episode, what did you learn in today's episode?
I learned that on this episode, you can find a lovely woman of the Asian descent on our website to date. If you go on Fly Plus Football, you can find a lovely woman, even maybe some J-date in there. I also learned that higher division players are a lot more salty than lower division players.
Eagle has learned. I learned Mo is about to get a delicious snack from somebody else at this show, courtesy
From special Rob
Food.
Campana.
from Rock Band. I learned that Terry Tam thinks some teams are terrible, but has his favorites, like the Keyport Lock.
Exactly.
Don't forget, we're at the
Gators.
halfway.
Gators, my favorite.
Gators, of course.
Gators,
Eddie, the Latin Hustle, Martinez.
Latin hustle.
Halfway point, we're going to go into playoff scenarios starting next week. We're going to have the breakdown of the wild cards now because some teams are going to figure out where do I fit in now in the bigger landscape of the playoff hierarchy. So we'll get that figured out. Terry, as always, my friend. You never walk alone. Good morning, South Korea.